Shalom, shalom. In today's video, we are going to be revealing the sod of a very cryptic passage mentioned at the very beginning of the Zohar. So with that being said, let us begin. The passage in question will be found in Book 1 in the Pritzker edition, and this is going to be found in the Kabbalah Center, also in Book 1, in a section entitled The Lily. And it goes on to say, similarly from the moment Elohim is mentioned, it generates 13 words to surround the assembly of Israel and protect her. Then it is mentioned again. Why again? To produce 5 sturdy leaves surrounding the rows. These 5 are called salvation. They are 5 gates. Concerning this mystery it is written, I raise the cup of salvation, Psalms 116:13. This is the cup of blessing, which should rest on 5 fingers and no more. Like the rose sitting on 5 sturdy leaves, paradigm of 5 fingers, this rose is the cup of blessing. From the second Elohim till the third, 5 words appear. From here on, light created, concealed, contained in the covenant, entering the rose, emitting seed into her. This is the tree bearing fruit with its seed in it. That seed endures in the actual sign of the covenant, just as the image of the covenant is sown in 42 couplings of that seed, so the engraved explicit name is sown in 42 letters of the act of creation. To begin with, we have to understand the 4 worlds, as shown here. Now that we have the basics, let us begin. It first states, similarly from the moment Elohim is mentioned, it generates 13 words to surround the assembly of Israel and protect her. Now what does this mean? The assembly of Israel is Malkuth. And why does it say and protect her? The 13 words between Elohim and Elohim are Et, Hashemayim, Wa'et, Ha'aretz, Wa'ha'aretz, Hayata, Tohu, Wabohu, Wachashok, Ol Fanai, Tahom, Waruach. So, the first words we're going to analyze are Et, Hashemayim, Wa'et. So the first 3 words we'll be analyzing are Et, Hashemayim, Wa'et. As demonstrated in a previous video, there is a circular aspect and a linear aspect. Now, I also demonstrated that there is a link between Malkuth and Kether in the mystery of a tree on top of a tree. And the upper 3, mainly the Kether, Hokmah, and Bina of any given realm, envelop in a circular aspect, with the remaining of the Sephiroth below it represented in a linear aspect. With this first world, Et, representing Aleph to Tav, is Kether. Hashemayim is Hokmah, as Yam is referred to as the sea, and the sea is a code word for Hokmah. And Wa'et represents Aleph to Tav again, this being the crowns to all of the letters Aleph through Tav, the Nikudim of all of the letters created through the expansion of the 231 gates called the sea, and Wa'et being the letters themselves, like this. This being the Kether, the crowns, the Hokmah, the Nikudim, and the Bina, the Otiot. Now, why 13? Because 13 is in reference to the beard of Adikampin, and the beard of Adikampin takes its place in Atzilut. On the tree, we will find its location here. It then goes on to say that these letters surround and guard the congregation of Israel. The congregation of Israel is a code word for Malkuth, and this is an illusion that Malkuth is linked to Kether, and that Kether, Hokmah, and Bina are together in the mystery of Rosh, called the head. And this Partsufim is the Partsufim of Adikampin, and the beard of Adikampin, which has 13 rectifications, which mirror these 13 words, are found in the realm of Atzilut. Now that this has been established, Let us continue. So it says, it generates 13 words to surround the assembly of Israel and protect her. Then it is mentioned again. Why again? To produce 5 sturdy leaves surrounding the rows, which has been established. These 5 are called salvation. What does this allude to? Between Elohim to Elohim are 13 words, and then between Elohim and Elohim mentioned again, there are exactly 5 words. Maruakfet, Ol Fanai, Hamayim, Waya Amar. And so these 5 words represent 5 gates. And what are the 5 gates? They are the 5 letters of the word Bariah in the next rung. First being Atziluth in the 13 letters, and then the 5 being the mystery of the 5 letters of the word Bariah, the next universe. It then mentions that these 5 are the cup of salvation. And why is this? We then read, "This is the cup of blessing which should rest on 5 fingers and no more, these representing the 5 Sephirot, as demonstrated. Like the rose sitting on 5 sturdy leaves, paradigm of the 5 fingers, which also mirror these 5 Sephirot. This rose is the cup of blessing. From the second Elohim till the third, 5 words appear. Why? These next 5 represent the next world, called Yetzirah, and there are exactly 5 letters in the word Yetzirah, as shown here. And these 5 words are Et, Haor, Gai, Tob, Waya, Bedel. We next read, after these 5 words appear, from here on, light created, concealed, contained in the covenant. What is the covenant? This is Yisod of Zeranpin, as it is shown here. It says here, this is the tree bearing fruit with its seed in it. The word tree is a key word for Tifereth. With its fruit within its seed in it. The word seed comes from the exact same letter arrangement as the word zer, and is to allude to Zeranpin. Now it says, from here on light created, concealed, contained in the covenant, entering the rose, emitting seed into her. This is because the last remaining Sephiroth, which represents Asaya, is Malkuth, which is 1 Sephiroth, demonstrated like this. It then goes on to say, just as the image of the covenant is sown in 42 couplings of that seed, so the engraved explicit name is sown in 42 letters of the act of creation. And here, in the section regarding notes, we find regarding the 42 letters of the act of creation, it says, number 13, the 42-letter name is mentioned, though not recorded. The Babylonian Talmud, Kiddushin 71a, according to one later view, it consists of the first 42 letters of the Torah, from Beit of Bereshit to the Beit of Bohu. From the Beit of Bereshit to the Beit of Bohu. And there are exactly 42 letters. And what does this teach us? And what do these 42 letters reveal to us? But that there are 5 worlds. We have the most concealed 5th world, Atzilut, Bariyah, Yetzirah, and the single Sephiroth, Malkuth, which represents Asiya. And the 42 letters represent the 10 Sephiroth in these 4 worlds, and the other 2 represent the all-encompassing top point and the all-encompassing bottom point, mainly Asiya and Malkuth. From this, it is alluded Beit and Beit in the 42-letter name. Why? Because the letter Beit is gematria 2 and alludes to 2 points, mainly those 2 all-encompassing points. With that being said, we have learned the sod of the matter, and we have entered in to the understanding of worlds as shown in the very beginning of the Zohar. With that being said, Shalom, Selah.